Welcome everybody to TRiRODS. This is the third TRiRODS for this year. And so today we're going to have our interns come up and talk about what they've been working on and tell us what their experience has been about. The first being June Releford. He is going to be talking about refactoring and modernizing the main iRODS server process. Anyway.
Hello, am I audible? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is June. I participated in the 2022 internship at UNC. I will be answering a few key questions about my time in the internship and going over the work I've done and my thoughts on the internship as a whole. The first question being, what did I do? I was assigned to refactor parts of the code base to modernize the core iRODS server. This is the project listing as I saw it. What drew me to this project over the others was the mention of the core server being coded in C. C is my main language, and I thought I'd have some experience working with it. And I've been learning C++ and how to modernize my own code lately, so I felt like it was a good match. Modern high-level techniques for purposes of maintainability and performance, as well as extensibility. This was the quote I saw. This part always felt a bit vague to me, and I was later able to get a good sense for what it meant. But starting the project, I was very directionless, but eventually got to the point I was able to submit work. The next question obviously being, what work did I do? This is it, issue number 6473. It's a small amount of work comparatively, but I'm happy to have gotten to this point. It was focused entirely on the core server files, mostly the ones involved in the creation of the server process and threads, 486 deletions, 344 additions. The focus was on improving the readability and future work on the main server. I started at the top with headers, includes for declarations, namespaces, and worked my way down using my knowledge over the code flow to trim away unused functions and structures, this accounting for most of the deletions. I also went through and stripped out certain C-isms and odd Linux header-only aliases for common data types. I received lots of good feedback on these changes, and I'm a lot more confident that this BR achieves some of those initial goals. The road there wasn't so smooth. As stated, I had a bit of a fuzzy idea of what my project goals were. I was in the mindset that I should just figure it out on my own. So I went to studying the core server, the protocol, mapping the code, capturing packets, and scribbling countless notes and diagrams on the data structures and call flow. This led to me approaching the problem entirely from the grand scope of its entirety and started my work on a complete refactor. It was a full recreation of the core server using what I knew about modern C++ and what I was learning at the time, both from Corey directly and the resources he had given me. I structured the recode around some core principles I liked in other projects: namespaces for API and application interfaces, separated platform and application layers. And as I learned Oxygen, I even threw that in there everywhere I could. This kind of grand scope was ultimately completely untenable. It was not going to get me to a PR. I was too protective of it and shy to even do proper code reviews. It ended up existing mostly in my own private space where it couldn't benefit anybody, and it was growing fat with unchecked ideas and tangential improvements far from the true scope of the project I was assigned. This all came crashing down much later, and I appreciate all the support I got when I finally came out of that. Corey was great in restoring my morale after spending so much time on what I considered a wasted project. And we managed to discuss more clear goals and use that last bit of my time here to make something a bit more useful and reviewable. It was hard to both share what I had done and to connect with the team. This is my first real professional interaction with coding on this level, and there was a consistent fear of not actually being a real coder or that I had to perform really well to have an impact. Both of these were not true. I was able to work once I was on the right track, and even if the end result was not as big a scope as I had hoped for, I learned a lot through the whole process. The first major thing I learned was not to go chasing these grand goals on team projects like this, especially ones that have existed for so long. Your efforts are better if they fit into the bigger structure. You must find out both what will have a big impact on the program itself, but also on the team and future developers. A complete refactor is a massive undertaking with huge pitfalls that may easily leave the project worse than when you started. It requires an understanding of both where the project was, where it was going, and how many people use it, not just consumers, but developers too. Improvements can be made incrementally with best effect effort and a much more well-balanced changes than a complete refactor. The next big lesson was really to fail faster and more confidently. If I had shown people my work early on, and if I had been more open to their feedback, to their ideas, to even knowing what I was supposed to do, without the fear of looking incompetent or underqualified, I would have gotten a lot more done. If you have a bad idea, get it out of the way, get it out there as soon as it's in a usable state, and let people see it, play with it, break it, and tell you if it's bad or good. Either way, you want to get it tested, fail, and iterate. The final most important lesson, which ties into the other two, is just to communicate. Talk to your team, to your mentors, and if you're in a better position to me, to the end users as well. They are here to help. They are on the same team as you, literally. They have good ideas, can see merit in yours, communicate not just your, they can see merit in yours, especially this team. Their support they had was amazing, and I was happy to be a part of it. Communicate not just your status, but your ideas, your goals, and ask them what they see, what they need, how they interact, what they know. In the end, you'll have a much clearer picture of what you need to do and how it relates to the overall project. As for the future, how can these lessons help those who come after me? I think the team did a great job helping me once I came forward with my problems. I do not expect them to be able to read my mind, but in the future with others who may come after me, I think it could be helpful to be a bit more insistent on getting to look at their work. I shied away and they respected that, but really I think it would have helped if they pushed me a bit more, communicated that it was going to be okay and that it was important that my work was seen and reviewed to get it going in the right direction early on. Overall, I enjoyed working with the team. I want to thank every one of them for respecting me and having such a welcoming environment. I especially want to thank 3 people who got me to the point that I was able to actually commit and be a part of it. Marcus, for both making me aware of this internship in the first place and being really friendly and encouraging in how I could be someone that codes professionally and how this project could help me. Terrell for working with me to continue to be part of the project while going through a lot of huge life changes and problems in the background, and for also addressing my needs and concerns in the day-to-day interactions that I had with the team. Even when there was not an issue, Terrell made sure I felt included. And finally, Corey, the best resource I've ever had in a person, provided me with everything I needed as soon as I made it known that I needed it, and really helped me see what the goal was and how to get there. And that's the end of my presentation.
Any questions for Violet? I mean, not Violet, but June? Sure.
Are we ever gonna see those research notes?
Yes, I can compile those into some documentation.
Yes, yeah, that would be great. We'd love to, have access to that implementation that you had. I'm sure there's some good ideas in there that we can make that we can leverage us and move forward in iRODS. So thanks for that. Thanks, June.
Thank you.